Well, howdy, 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 hi everybody. It's been a while, sorry, but I have been pretty darn busy working the job, and 4 days in Eugene, Oregon with no electricity really sucked. Couldn't do any World of Warships. Anyway, I'm going to start working my way up the French battleship line and see where that goes. The next one is the Courbet. The Courbet, it's actually for Tier 4, it's not half bad. There's a lot to learn from this ship, from Tier 4. So I'm going to go ahead and buy it. And I've already got a commander, so there's no reason for me to pick up a commander. I had that one in reserve. I didn't even know it until I went looking. So I'm going to go ahead and upgrade the engine. There's my commander. And I might as well go ahead and speed him up a little bit. That's a lot of doubloons for training. As you can see, she's a pretty good looking old design of battleship. It's got a ton of secondaries. The turret layout's pretty interesting. You sure don't see much of that anymore. Although I do have to wonder when I spotted this anti-aircraft gun right here. There are secondaries right over there that seem to shoot right across and into that AA gun. You can see she's bristling with secondaries. It's a good looking ship. I'm going to go ahead and pick up a few extra horsepower. And that's fine. It's affordable, that's for sure. And then I thought about this. I'll pause here. I thought about going for the extended range, but when I was reading about this ship, I discovered that her dispersion at long range is pretty bad. So there's not a lot of reason for me to spend any money on going for the extra range. You really want to get in a little bit closer. Now the B-hull is definitely an improvement. I'll go ahead and take that. It's going to give me a little more range, but it's going to give me a lot more hit points. Oh, and more AAs. All right. So I'll go ahead and pick that up. All right, got the B-hull. Let's see what we've got for upgrades here. Well, magazine mod 1 you don't really need because this is a battleship. You're not going to get your magazines penned. Auxiliary armaments I really thought about. Main armaments is pretty good too. The reason I thought about auxiliary is because there's a decent range. But when I saw how many of them I had, 22, you know, I can handle losing a few. It's no big deal. So I went with main armaments mod 1. And for the second slot, that one's pretty much a no-brainer. Your propulsion and your steering gears hardly ever get taken out when you're in a battleship. Hardly ever. It takes a torpedo hit right to the rear to do the job. So you might as well just go with damage control system mod 1. That one's a no-brainer. Alright, let's get our captain. That's a 10-point captain. So, looking around at the 1-point skills, really, that's the only one that really makes much sense. That one there, Expert Loader, yeah, it cuts reloading time in half, but only if all your guns are already loaded and you just want to switch out. It's not really that much of a help. So I went with Priority Target. Lets me know how many people are shooting at me. Now this one, I took a look at the 180 degree turn time and saw that it was 60 seconds, which is pretty darn slow. That's not gonna go well with me. No thanks. Especially when you see the rudder shift on this ship. It's incredible. So I'm going to go ahead and go with Expert Marksman. The other skills at 2-point level are not bad. That knocked it down to 53.7. Oh, that's something at least. That was one that I really thought about. Survivability Expert. It does help out a lot, but I'm in a battleship, and you know, if you've been driving World of Warships for any length of time, if you're in a battleship, you are going to be put on fire and hit a lot. So basics of survivability is a good choice. You can always outfit the ship to your play style, not mine, and by all means, if that's the way you want to roll, go for it. I always go with fire prevention because I push in close and I get put on fire a lot. Alright, that's all 10 points. Let's take a look at the ship numbers. Whoops. What was I thinking? Much better. Alright, let's take a look at the armor. Wow. All the colors of the rainbow there. That is a lot to think about. Let's filter some of this out and look at the guns. 180, 270, 290. Whoa. 90. That's gonna be a weak spot on the second turret back. You get a hit down there and your turret's gonna get hurt. The other's got 120 down there or more. So it's just that one turret. Now look at the Citadel. You see, it's way low underwater, and that's good. Not much armor up top and on the sides, so if you do get hit from plunging fire, you can wind up getting some damage in the Citadel. Okay, here's some real armor. 250, 235, 160, 160. Alright. Well, this just tells me that you don't want to be broadside to a battleship because they will push through that armor. A little bit of plating there. And a little bit more superstructure. Conning tower is well guarded. And then the outside plating. Oh, that's not much armor up front at the nose. Which means if you're head on to another ship, you're probably better off being slightly angled. You might not want to be nose on or dead broadside. Alright, let's take a look at this. Main battery. Now, if you're going straight onto an enemy, only those front two guns can fire. So what you want to do is angle your ship just a bit so that this turret can fire, as well as the two lead turrets and the secondaries, and then angle your ship back using the rudder so that this turret can fire. Back and forth and back and forth. Tons of secondaries. What I want to point out here is look at that shell velocity for AP. Wow, that is slow, which means they're going to have a high arc. So this gun can shoot, these guns can shoot over islands, and they can give plunging fire. The high velocities, a lot better. But look at the damage. High explosive shells only do 4,200 on a good hit, whereas the AP does 8,300, which is almost double. And there's a 22% chance of starting fires, which is just enough to tempt you to fire a few salvos of high explosive to get the enemy on fire, and then switch over to AP. Secondaries only shoot high explosive. Good hit, 2,000 with an 8% chance of fire, 4.5 kilometer range. But you've got a lot of them. You got 22 of them. So if you get to within 4.5 kilometers, you're going to start doing some damage. The guns are about 12 inches, 12-inch shells. Now your AA, you've got a lot of them, but they're just not very powerful. 13 millimeters and a few 75 millimeters. 13 millimeters is not much. Not much at all. Maneuverability is really nice. 12.3 second rudder shift. There are cruisers in this game that can't match that rudder shift. So this thing is really nimble. And a 500 and looks like 60 meter turning radius, that's really good. So this thing's quite maneuverable. You're going to want that. Concealment detectability by sea is 15.8 kilometers. I think her artillery, yeah, fires 15.8. You can tweak that a bit with your captain skills and whatnot, but really the dispersion on these guns is not great at long range. Not great at long range at all. Let's go ahead and put some flags. Well, let's see, that one, that actually does something for you. All the other flags are just bragging rights. Some camouflage. No. Yeah, we'll do that one. God, what a weird camo job. Now, signals, yeah, we're going to want that one to help recover hit points when we get damaged. And we're going to want India Yankee to put fires out, because we're going to get put on fire. And nah, I'll just put on some flags to help boost the experience and credits given. That should do it. Alright, let's get into a brawl. What's really good about the Tier 4 ships, and the Courbet included, is that you start to learn a skill in World of Warships. That is looking around, keeping your head on a swivel, looking for the best target. That's a skill that you're going to have to pick up on as you move through the higher tiers, especially when you start getting into Tier 7. Oh my God. you've really got to start looking around. Situational awareness, I think that's what they call it. Anyway, I'm going to zip ahead a bit in the video. You've all seen this map before. So we're moving in. And we should be seeing our first enemy pop up any second. If you look at the mini map, there's one right there. A destroyer. So this is the very first salvo and the very first game I've ever played in the Courbet. Nice. Scored a hit. It's an overpen, but so what? Did a lot of damage. Kersplat. Oh, I hurt that guy. He will not be around for long. Yeah, he should be going any second. Yep, he's gone. Alright, so let me zip ahead a bit in the vid. You can see where I'm aiming way off to the north. And yes. And I didn't notice this guy. I should have noticed him a little bit sooner. He's got torps. And he sent them my way. This is where rudder shift comes in real handy. You can see though that my guns cannot keep up. They traverse way too slowly. Bye. Oh yes, you gotta love that armor piercing. On this guy, I really should have switched to high explosive because he is a battleship. You can see I only did 2,700 of damage to him. So I'm slowing down because he's coming straight at me. I'm going straight at him, and I want to give myself some time to get more reloads in. Now that one hit me right in the nose, and you can see how much damage it did. You can see by my indicator here, I am on the rudder trying to get different turrets to line up on this guy. Now that shell just bounced. I really should have gone with high explosive. Yeah, my shells are just bouncing. So now he's within secondary range. So here I'm just going to punch it. I'm going to try to ram him. But I definitely miscalculated what this thing can do. As that rudder was so quick, I'm pointed the wrong direction. Now he's avoiding the dodge. I'm going to try and let him have it at point blank. Those are my secondaries. Darn, those are my secondaries opening up on him. So I missed my ram. Darn rookie maneuver there. But hey, it's my very first battle in this ship ever. And it looks like my team is going to finish this guy off. Yep. Well, it wasn't exactly a high-level excitement game, but it does let you know what the ship can do. That maneuverability is a bit of a double-edged sword. Took third. I'll take that. I'm not going to pause the video on the numbers. You can do it and see what they all mean. And it is a bit of a moneymaker. A lot of Tier 4 ships are. Anyway, that is it. That is the ship, the Courbet. It's going to teach you to start putting your head on a swivel and look around. It's going to teach you to start assigning secondary targets. That is pressing the control button and then putting your mouse on what you want to shoot at and left clicking once. And it teaches you to be mindful about how your ship is angled to other ships in the game. So that's it. The Courbet. Have fun and stay safe.